If you thought the entries from last video were cheap, we can go even cheaper. If you haven't seen part 1, I'd recommend you check it out, but not right now since you don't have to watch these videos in any particular order. Although, since I've told you not to check it out, now you will. But now that I said you will, now you won't. Which means you will, which means you won't. Fuck this. Here's the video. I'm starting now. Cadillac CTS-V. Let's start this list off with some nice speedy American luxury. This car just barely didn't make it into my 5 cheap sleepers video, and that is mostly due to how pricey some of these can get. You can find ones as low as $10,000, but they start to have really high mileage by then. Regardless, you'll be getting yourself a good old American V8 that is putting out 400 horsepower. Can't argue much against that kind of performance, especially for this price. Cadillac is well known as a luxury brand in the States, and even first generation CTS-Vs still look really badass. I remember when Cadillac used to be mocked for being an old grandpa brand, but those days are far gone. In their place, they are now known as a brand for luxury performance. Don't expect the rest of the entries to be fast though. Remember, this video is just about looking rich, not going fast. For all my UK viewers, I've got another replica supercar for you guys. This time, it's a Lamborghini though. Parallel Designs makes a sick Lamborghini Diablo replica. Finished builds can cost upwards of £40,000, but you'll get a car that can actually hold its own in regards to performance. Parallel Designs gets my respect for being a company that does more than just mimic appearances. This particular replica is packing a BMW V12 that puts somewhere around 535 horsepower. This attempt to make the car have performance is actually respectable, as it shows Parallel Designs is paying homage to the original. This is a well done replica, a compliment to the original, and a testament to the legacy of the Diablo. This is what every replica kit maker should pursue to become. Before any of you get disgusted by the word replica, you need to realize that the majority of Ford GT40s and Shelby Cobras that you see on the streets are also replicas made by RCR or Factory 5 and many other manufacturers, and there's nothing wrong with that, since they're well done replicas paying homage to the original, and that's the point I'm making. There are many reasons as to why people can't drive the original but still want it for the sake of experience and continuing the heritage of the original. However, I must mention that it appears Parallel Designs' website is down due to them not renewing it. Their Facebook page's last post was last year sometime in November. Be careful not to give money to any fake distributor claiming to be them. If they have shut down, then browse the used market for finished builds of their cars. I know that may suck for anyone looking forward to building one on their own, but for now I want to play it safe and not encourage anyone into getting scammed due to misinformation. Try to ask around in some forums if you're genuinely interested. Whenever I'm walking around on campus and see a Nissan 350Z, a lot of normie college students who don't know anything about cars always think this car is actually pretty expensive. I've even seen this car featured in expensive sport car memes, which I'm not even mad about because that's probably all the better for the owners. I think that the reason most people think this car is an expensive sports car is because of its ultra sleek coupe styling and the overall stance the car has. It makes the car give off a "I'm too rich to give a fuck about backseats for the children I don't have" vibe. Also, this car is featured in every street racing game ever and every drifting movie ever, so that may be another reason why people think it must be an expensive sports car. With that said, you can easily buy one of these cars in high school, as some of them sell as low as $6,000. You don't need 4 doors as a high schooler anyway, you'll just end up as the chauffeur of the group. No free rides for your bros in this car, but at least you still got room for your girl. Also, please don't wrap this car around a pole trying to drift it when you first get your license. Skill is not included with the purchase, so don't be stupid. Ford Fusion. I remember first seeing this car back when it first came out in 2013, and I thought it looked way too much like an Aston Martin. Though the whole Aston Martin appearance won't do you any good if you ever meet a non-car enthusiast who is so uninformed they don't even know what an Aston Martin is. In fact, the sad part is that most non-car enthusiasts I've met on campus actually think Aston Martin copied the Ford Fusion's appearance. I can't even imagine the level of stupid it must take to be that uninformed. However, I need to move on with this video. The car's appearance is no coincidence, as the design of this car did take a lot of elements from Aston Martin. Also, even though this car inherited styling from Aston Martin, it didn't quite inherit the speed. The 2013 models came with 3 engine types, and the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder didn't quite have that much aftermarket support. The 2-liter 4-cylinder was more popular in the aftermarket, but even then, you'd be better off not modding this car for the sake of resale value. That's right, here I am as a car enthusiast telling you not to mod a car. Crazy, right? That's mostly because mods are best done to cars with the most potential. Like, I could buy a turbo kit for my Sentra, but you know what I'd rather do? Just save that money instead, to trade in my Sentra and buy a different car that can actually be modded more thoroughly. Chrysler 300. My father refers to these as the poor man's Rolls Royce. But as far as I'm concerned, most non-car people don't even care that much for a Rolls Royce anyway. In fact, some students I've met always thought the Chrysler 300 was some expensive luxury car. This is made all the better when most of my RA coworkers don't even know car company badges. I thought that shit was in human DNA by now. Regardless, their naivety will serve to your advantage. You can get a Chrysler 300 for as low as $4,000 depending on model and year. If you want, you can even buy a brand new one, as this car admittedly is real nice. I try not to recommend buying new cars for the most part, but I'll make an exception here because the 2017 models are looking clean as fuck. These cars can get pretty fast if you get one that has a V8 in it, so you'll be getting yourself a pretty good sleeper as well. That's also helped by the fact that this car has some decent aftermarket support, so have fun customizing your own. Just be sure to remember that the car's appearance can hold its own. What I mean by that is, don't try to bling it up by adding a whole bunch of stupid fake hood vents and other stupid shit that people do to this poor thing. Just let the car's simplistic, bold, and stout appearance speak for itself and leave it uninterrupted. If you want to throw on some custom rims, hey, that's all good with me, just don't rice it, okay? I hope you and your wallet enjoyed part 2. I'm hoping one of these cars is to your taste, and if you haven't seen part 1, now's a great time to check it out. I'm hoping I've helped you find a new future dream car to pursue. Once again, a warning that you should be careful as to who you give your money to. I know my videos may have sparked interest in Lamborghini and Ferrari replicas, but make sure you're buying from an actual distributor and not a scam artist. If you like daily uploads about cars, gaming, and anime, then subscribe to my channel. Like this video and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Blade Angel out.